And hello, Raiders. Welcome to another Raid Shadow Legends video. There's been a lot going on this past week, quite a bit more than usual. Our folks over at Raid released a new video talking about new things coming in. So notably, there's going to be a new fusion, because everyone loves fusions. Classic Fusion, starting on the 5th of August. So that's in about 5 days from when this video is going to be posted. There's also a new Doom Tower rotation coming in. I've completed Doom Tower since last we spoke, but I assume this new rotation is going to come in just 3 days, 4 days when this resets. It's going to have new bosses, it's going to have new gear, and what scares me most is new secret rooms. So, part of it's good, part of it's bad. I don't really want to build a whole bunch of new secret room champions, but oh well, it is what it is. And the last fun of bit of controversial news was the daily login reward changes. They're going to take away the 2 best things in here and replace them with fragments for a champion probably no one wants. So people are generally not happy with that. I am not happy about that. I think that's a huge kind of slap in the face, but whatevs. As far as my account progression goes, if you saw last week's video, I was a lucky Duchess puller during the event. And this is probably the fastest I've ever built a Duchess. And she's not even fully built yet. So usually my leveling up a champion for me takes a couple of weeks. Usually I do it with several other champions at the same time. No, Duchess is already a 6-star. I will do the ascensions during the fusion. Sure, there'll be champion training I can leverage. I've already gone through and done artifacts. I just leaned into her AoE damage reduction. She's got stalwart and a couple of off pieces. Masteries are done, so I just need to figure out what I want to do for those. I'm sure I'll look it up somewhere. As far as other champions, Deacon's been kitted out. Masteries are done. He's ready to go, and Mashalad has also been built. The jewelry for both these guys should be done. I just haven't equipped it yet because I haven't done the ascensions. Masteries are done. And largely I'm doing some of that right now because of this event point mission I'm on. I generally despise training events, but I've sunk a little bit of effort into this training event just to get moving, and I'm way over on this artifact enhancement event again just to get more points. Probably will never do that again. Anyway, let's move on to the main topic of the video, and that is Spider 21 through 25, which is actually a mission, which is why I ended up doing it. I was perfectly content to farm Spider 20 for a long time, and I recently tried to do Spiders 21 through 25, so I thought I'd share my experience. But if we go back in time a little bit, and we look at, this was my old Spider 20 team, and this was a pretty typical team. Most people build multiple cold hearts for it. I have a very high aversion to building duplicate champions, and that aversion kind of bit me in the butt this time. But I would run this team. I forget what the time was. Time was pretty decent. I mean, it would be under a minute most of the time, and I was perfectly happy with that, which is why I took so long to. Whoops, the team keeps reverting because I haven't actually used it. I was perfectly happy with this team on Spider 20. I'll do a quick run here, show it off, but pretty typical. And now no one actually does this stuff anymore because everyone farms 21 through 25 for better drop rate. But if you are doing the uh, tournament or an event and you need points, 20 still ends up being more efficient per energy. All we're doing is putting up the buff, doing a couple of big AoE blasts, resetting, and calling it a day. I don't remember what the variance is, why I got 22 seconds one time and now it's taking a little longer. I think when Cold Heart goes again, that will be game over. And there it goes. So yeah, people would use max HP champions, just nuke the crap out of this boss. However, for Spider 21 and up, unfortunately, the meta kind of changed and they added the ability or the defensive ability on the spider to only take 10% of their HP when you do a max HP champion. So it forced me to adapt to a team that is kind of a hybridization of other teams I've used in the past. So the only path to victory that I know is via HP burn, and this is kind of the team I settled on. I went all the way on Mordecai. I check. I took only to 50. This created monster in here is to provide protection, shields, and additional stuns. A check is not 100% freeze. And this does not force the spider to not take a turn. Actually, he will take a turn. We're going to have this created monster put up a shield on everybody. If you have someone go first, then you can have your AoE HP burner burn everybody. And Cold Heart is there kind of just to help out. So turn meter control as well as damage. I have Renegade do a slow attack first. He actually delays his reset. Renegade's A2 actually puts up a slow debuff, which helps. And then since Full Heart needs an extra turn for the reset anyway, this works out. The Miscreated Monster is just doing his stuns and the shield all the time. I did disable Miscreated Monster's I think it says A3, his Ally Protect, because he will just die here if he's ally protecting people. So don't use Miscreated Monster's Ally Protect ability. Otherwise, just put the burn, put the freezes, knock the turn meter down every once in a while. And then this created monster shield is going to get whacked here pretty soon because the spider will suck up the spiderlings with this this strategy. Sometimes some of them are dead because I'm pushing the turn meter back quite a bit. It'll depend. We could actually lose a chalk and it wouldn't be that big of a deal. Oops, see, there he goes. Didn't get that many spiderlings because we killed a bunch. And this is a pretty safe team. I haven't seen it fail. It's also for Spider 24 because if you try to do Spider 25 with a more riskier teams, you run a higher risk of failing if you get one of those unlucky resists. So it continues and it finishes. Part of this 2-minute time is because I ran out of time speed to explain, and averages about 90 seconds, which I'm fine with. That is not too bad. I'll keep that. So this is kind of a variation on another content creator's team that did double Cold Heart. And at first I did not do double Cold Heart. I resisted it for a long time. I decided to go ahead and give it a try. It works okay. It just feels very dicey to me. And a big mistake I made is I actually built a Lua out for this slot right here. And unfortunately, the way this team is tuned, you actually need the extra damage from the Cold Heart, even if it caps out at 10%. So Spider's got 100% health. You get 10% from each of these. You reset, you get 20% from each of these. That's 40% of the Spider's health pool just from these two Cold Hearts. The other 60% ish comes from HP burn on all the spiders. twice. So that is how it shapes up. And this team, while it works, always kind of makes me cringe when I watch it. I can run the Spire 24 team here as well, which I'll probably prefer. I could also just level up these guys. I kind of like half reared leveled. I'll keep the language PG-13, but we'll slow it down so you can see what's going on. We do the heart seekers and the freezes and the resets and everything right away. The only really thing special about the AI setup for this is I just tell the cold hearts not to use their AoE attacks, and that's about it. The double heart seeker. There we go. And now it gets kind of dicey. This is the part where I'm like, ooh, I don't know if I like this. I can fix this if I change the speeds on the Achax versus the cold hearts, but I haven't done that. But it is something that you can consider. You don't need to sink that much resources into it. So come on, speed up a little bit. So we're here just letting them basically kill us while the while the HP burns just tick away. So this works every time that I've seen so far. It just kind of makes me cringe. Okay, we won. with two level 50s. She's 43. I haven't even bothered with her level yet. And we got a legendary defense. That's not bad. It could have potential. So yeah, so those are my teams for Spider. Let's talk about the components you need real fast, and I'll begin the video. So the first component would be an HP burn champion, Mordecai. So Mordecai, a Koth from the Doom Tower. I think he's the second Doom Tower epic you can get. Can also play this role. If you want to go the legendary route, if you have a Sissia, she can kind of like make this a 20 to 30 second run because she's that good. Ignatius also does an AoE HP burn, I believe. Ultimate Gaelic, but I don't recommend building Ultimate Gaelic for anything ever. And then the next component would be your Terminator control, which I have full hearts for. You can probably combine with the Lysandra. That would be my preference, actually. I'd love to replace her with a Lysandra. Replace one of these with a Lysandra and just control everybody and see how that worked out, but oh well. Next is your Spiderling control. Obviously, we're using a chalk for that. In my other team, I also have like I'll call it a hybrid approach where I use Miscreated Monster. So the Miscreated Monster would protect the team with the shields and the stuns. As far as control goes, you have a few options. You can also do Astralon if you want to have a 100% stun, but that's a legendary. It takes books. Shirimani has an 100% AoE freeze. Again, legendary, takes books. You could also, in theory, use an AoE taunt champion like a Molly or an Umbral Enchantress, and that would control the spiders to make the run go a little slower, but there you go. So those are your basic elements of your spider team, and I'll show you a little bit of their builds since it's not anything special. Like I'm not a super endgame player. I have you and some speed, some immortal, and some accuracy. The accuracy you need for this dungeon is only still about 225. I usually aim for around 250-ish because I really hate resists. I think I overdid the accuracy on this guy, but oh well. Accuracy test piece, is it? Sometimes they just end up a lot higher than they probably should be. I am considering at some point pushing him to 6-star, and if he needs to be a Doom Tower champ or not, but who knows? Let's see. My Cold Heart is the same Cold Heart I use for the Scarab boss, so you just can destroy. It's an accuracy, very high accuracy, because Scarab at high level requires accuracy. I have a miscreated monster somewhere who is in a fair amount of accuracy. Again, I use him in I was using him in some other situations, which is why his accuracy was too high. Oh, he's in some Doom Tower compositions as well. That's what I was using him for. This Cold I just kind of threw together. Appropriate accuracy, roughly 200-ish speed. Note on the speed, the main spider moves at 95. I think the spiderlings move at 110. I think they are slightly faster, if I recall. But if you want to go twice against the spiderling, you gotta or against the spider boss itself, be above 190, minus any turn meter effects. Make sure you book out your second cold heart. That's a mistake I made on my first experimentations. And who else did I have in that team? I had Mordecai, who was just basically an HP burner with accuracy and speed. There he is. He's very accurate. Again, if I need him for Doom Power or anything like that, he can do it. HP banner, and he's 220. Just fast, but not too fast. If I solve that problem by swapping out his boots. That's the gear. That's the team. Some pretty nice pieces on them, but nothing terribly super overpowered. Actually, this might be a super overpowered piece. Sometimes it just works out that way. And that is how I managed to overcome my Spider 25 mission. Hopefully this helps people out there look at their teams and put together something to overcome their Spider 25 mission, or if they just want to do farming, or if they just want to figure out what to do. But anyway, hopefully that helped out, and I will see you guys next time. Take care.